Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. If you are looking for the Student Life webinar for us here at the University of East Anglia, you are in the correct place. Today, we are joined by three wonderful students from across the globe who are going to talk all about student life and everything in between here at UEA. We are really excited to ask them all of your questions, and we also have lots of pre-submitted questions as well that we will cover. Today, we'll talk about everything from first impressions of UEA to what it's like to be part of a club or society here at UEA. So we have three students on our screen and we will introduce them shortly. But first, my name is Laura. You may have seen me on other webinars if you've attended any of our webinars before. I work in the global team here at UEA, and my job is to talk to future students like yourselves about how wonderful UEA is, and talk to you about how to make your journey here as smooth as possible. I'm also a UEA alumni. I attended UEA quite a few years ago. I'm one of those people, as many of our students are, that study at UEA and then never leave. And they fall in love with the city of Norwich and they don't want to leave the city itself. This webinar is being recorded, so if you do have any technical difficulties or need to step away from the screen at any point today, then don't panic. We will send out that recording within 48 hours of this webinar finishing, and you will receive that via email. So please look out for that and make sure you watch back anything that you may have missed. We are joined by three students here today, two postgraduate students and one undergraduate student. We have Esther as well, who will be dropping out halfway through. So don't worry if you see Esther disappear from the screen. That is planned. She has somewhere else to be this afternoon, but it's fine. She is still here for the first half, and we're going to ask her lots of questions while she is around. So that is enough from me. Let's get our students introduced. So we're going to start with Alpha.
Hi, Laura. Hi, everyone. As I've been introduced, my name is Alpha Boache from Ghana. Currently studying my master's in creative writing, prose fiction. Um, yeah, generally, and I'm here on the Global Voices Scholarship. So,
Bro, thanks, Alpha. Esther, your turn.
Hello, everybody. My name is Esther. I am a master's student studying film, TV, and creative practice, more of film production. And I'm here on, I'm not here on any scholarship.
Brilliant, thank you. And then last but not least, Shemaiah.
Hi everyone, I'm Shemaiah. I'm an undergraduate student. I'm studying psychology. So I'm in my first year right now. And yeah, that's about it.
Brilliant, thank you. That is our wonderful students. If you do have any questions for them at any point, please put them in the Q&A box that you should be able to see at the bottom of your screen. We also have my colleague Steve in the background. He will be answering any of your more detailed questions that you may have about your specific cases, but we will be covering the general questions with our wonderful panel of students here. So first off, I'm going to start by asking a really simple question to you all. Why did you choose UEA? We're going to start with Shemaiah this time. We'll go in backwards alphabetical order.
So why I chose UEA was, first of all, I found this, I joined most of these webinars as well when I was looking for universities. And one thing that stood out the most for me was this welcoming atmosphere. Even though I was back in Dubai, I just, through the screen, I just felt such a welcoming atmosphere. I felt so at home, and this is what I told Laura before as well. I felt so at home. Looking through and doing my research about the university, I fell in love with the campus as well, and the international community, I would say. That's one thing about UEA. Like, even when I came here, I didn't feel left out. I didn't feel like I had to be someone else. I felt so welcome. So that's one reason why I chose UEA.
Brilliant. Thank you, Shemaiah. You've definitely told me before that you have attended these webinars before, and it's really nice for you to now be on the face of one of these webinars. That's really nice. And you're right, it's definitely a feeling at UEA where it feels like home and there's something special about it, which is often what our students pick up on. Esther, why did you choose UEA?
I chose UEA because it was ranked the top in editing, and that's what I was looking to pursue in the UK, and also because of the scholarship that was given, it made me narrow down to the specific school I'm going to come in. I'd actually mentioned that to you as well. So those are the two reasons why I chose UEA actually. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Esther. I remember you talking about that whilst we were walking around the lake, doing some filming. Yeah, brilliant. Alpha, why did you choose UEA?
Yeah, for me, I think it's generally three reasons. The first one being the fact that UE's creative writing program is like renowned, so it's every writer's dream to, have their creative writing studies here because of the alumni who have passed through the program and, gone out there to be successful, the faculty that teaches the program. Then second would also be Norwich in general. I mean, I also joined some of the webinars and also did some research, and I saw how beautiful, like what's we see behind you right now, Laura, like beautiful environment, green and everything, and I just loved it. Then the third would be, I think, similar to what Shemaiah and Esther said about the support, these webinars and, emails and calls, to help you make your decision or, have the right decision. So these three things for me were the highlights for why I chose UEA.
Brilliant. I think that's a really great summary of some wonderful reasons why you would choose to study here at UEA. Next question, I'm going to want to talk about the first impressions you have when you arrived on campus. Alpha, I can see you reacting to this one, so I'm going to come to you first. Think back to September. What was your first impression when you arrived here at UEA?
So I think it was everything I had seen, even though we were getting to, I think it was autumn, but the green was still there, but then of course I was still sort of overcome with this overwhelming feeling of being at a new place, right? Which this story I tell everyone anywhere I go anyway. Outside UEA, I sort of met a few people who just casually smiled at me, and then it sort of gave me this confidence to sort of relax and just it gave me that this is going to be a warm place, like heartwarming people and all. So that was the first impression I had. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you, Alpha. Shemaiah, what was your first impression when you arrived here?
I have to agree with Alpha. Coming to a completely different country, you're definitely having all sorts of nerves and anxiety and everything. But one thing for sure was when I came to Norwich, everyone was so nice, compared to Dubai, I guess. But everyone was so nice and welcoming. So, and plus, everyone around you is also trying to figure out things at the same time. So you're not alone. So it felt really nice. Especially the people here are very nice. So yeah.
Esther, when you first arrived on campus, were you excited or were you nervous?
To be honest, I was nervous because I came from very far. And then I'm coming to a very unknown world. But there were people who were there to help me. Faculty, there was that welcoming week where there were very many sessions of, campus tour, accommodations tour, all those things. So it eased my nervousness and I was able to settle in well.
I think everyone is nervous when they first come. It's a massive thing to move to the UK to study, and you have every
Yeah.
right to be nervous. I think there's also a little bit of excitement in there,
Yeah.
but the nerves probably overwhelm the excitement, right? Because it's such a scary adventure, and you have so many thoughts in your brain. What will happen if something goes wrong? Or what will happen if I don't make any friends? And yet here you all are in May with lots of friends, lots of different networks of people that you have made here in the UK. And yeah, and I promise that anyone who's watching will also feel the same. They will definitely find their people here at UEA and those different connections. I want to talk a little bit about our campus. So as Alpha said, in the background of my picture, you can see some of our wonderful campus, including our brilliant lake that we have. We also have a lot of green space on our campus. It's a really, really beautiful campus. I wanted to ask our students what their favourite place on campus is. Esther, where is your favourite place on campus?
The lake. The lake is a favorite place. Thank God I went fast because I know everybody here was going to say the lake. Yeah.
Yeah, the lake is definitely a very popular place. Shemaiah, is your favorite place the lake as well?
I was gonna say the exact same thing, yeah. But
Why?
I would also say the library. I don't know, something about the library as well. It's good, but the lake, yeah, 100% the lake, yeah.
Our library is quite cool because it's very
Mhm.
big and we have almost 1 million books in there the last
Yeah.
time I heard. So yeah, it's a really nice space. But why is the lake your favorite place on campus, Shemaiah?
For me, it's got to do with loads of greenery. So once again, coming from Dubai, you don't usually see all of this. So having so much green space to just like unwind, relax, especially after days of lectures and everything, it's so good to walk around the lake, and it's something I love, especially with some of my friends I met here. We just walk around the lake and it's so relaxing. So yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. The lake
I
is
would also
definitely,
add,
yeah,
sorry,
Esther.
I would also add the sports park as well. It's actually my favorite place because it has really there's a big range of sporting activities to do, others that I didn't even know existed. So the sports park becomes second.
Yeah, the sports park is our indoor sports centre on
Yeah.
campus.
Mm.
So on the picture behind me, it's somewhere in the top left-hand corner in the distance. And that has all kinds of sports, as Esther said. And it also has a really good cafe. I think the cafe there is really nice to do really good food. And we have an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a rock climbing facilities, we have trampolines, we have all kinds of things. Half of them I have never tried, but there is lots of different things for you to try and get involved with. So yeah, that's a really good answer, Esther, as well. Alpha, is your favorite place on campus the lake?
Yeah, the lake is already one of them. I mean, even just yesterday, I was there with a couple of friends. We had our last lecture, so we decided to hang out around there, just talking, like, oh yeah, it's ending and everything. Also, second would be the library for me, and I could be there 24/7 if I have to or if I can. And the library is open 24 hours anyway. So sometimes I do find myself, oh, let me just do 2 hours writing or reading here, and I end up leaving the next day in the morning. So that's how good the library is. And the third for me would be the Sainsbury Center. Again, being a writer, the art and everything there. Sometimes I just go there to also get inspiration, sit there and, write. And it's a very interesting place. And of course, if you are a Marvel fan, MCU fan, you know that some of the Avengers scenes were shot there. So it's like, yay, I'm in the presence of greatness, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Some of the Avengers scenes were shot there, and that was back when I was a student, and some of my friends were extras. So you can see their legs in the background of some of the scenes. They're very famous. Yeah, so we have some really great spaces on campus. So it's a really brilliant place to be. And our green space is a real big selling point for the students because it is so peaceful and relaxing. And Alpha's right, when you finish your classes during the summertime, when the weather is nice, you will see so many students on that green area, playing games, just talking, having picnics. It's just such a wonderful place to be. And I think that really sums up the UEA community in that you have all of those students there celebrating and just relaxing with each other. So that's really good. Whilst we're talking about campus, I want to talk a little bit about accommodation. So, Esther, I remember that you live on campus. Is that right?
Yes.
What accommodation do you live in and what is it like?
I live in the postgraduate accommodation, Orwell House to be specific, and it is actually nice. It's very peaceful, by the way, because it is far from, okay, not far, but it's a distance from the undergraduate, and undergraduates like making noise. So the option that the school has of having set aside accommodation for just postgraduate because they know we like quietness and all that, it's actually a nice idea. I commend the school for that. Uh, the spacing and everything is fine. It is sizable. It is enough for one person, and also because we're not living here forever. It's just for 1 year, so it's good. I would say it's adequate and it's nice. Yeah.
Brilliant. And do you have your own bedroom or do you share with another person?
Not me. I don't have. I am alone. I don't share with anybody. What I do share is the kitchen and the toilet and bathroom. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's really useful. Sometimes some some students coming from different countries may think that they're sharing a bedroom with other people, and I think at UEA we have the luxury of not having to share a bedroom. So I think that's really nice that you have your own private space. Shemaiah, remind me, do you live on campus or off campus?
I live on campus. I live in Coleman House. It's an ensuite, so I have my own bedroom and a bathroom attached to it. But I share a kitchen with the rest of my flatmates.
Nice. And how have you found it sharing a kitchen with your flatmates? Has it been okay?
It's pretty nice. Actually, it's a great way to meet people in your flat as well, making new friends through them. Just like after a tough day, just having those small conversations probably lift you up so that you know you're not alone as well, because they too are figuring out everything by yourself. I do have to agree with Esther, like I'm undergraduate, so there's lots of parties and social events and everything, so there's lots of noise, but I kind of like it. I like knowing that there's people around, everyone's having fun, you know, it's less stress, I guess. That's what I have to say. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. Alpha, I think that you live off campus, is that right?
Yeah, I do. I live off campus.
What do you think are the benefits of living off campus compared to on campus?
Yeah, so for me, I think that's a very interesting question. In comparison, um I couldn't say much about the benefits, right? Beyond the fact that I guess you get to perhaps choose where you want to live and maybe the kind of people you want to live with, especially if you're coming as a group, a student group, and you want to have a same place. But then and then perhaps proximity for me, where I live, at least, I live close to campus, so it's like a walking distance, right? So I can say that's a benefit for me. But someone might also get a place that is kind of far. That is when it's important that you have an on-campus accommodation. But I think, yeah, generally it's the proximity where I found I could easily walk to campus without having to worry about, you know, bus fare or anything else. And also easily get to campus if there are some events I need to attend to. So yeah, I think that would be a benefit for me. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Alpha. I think with our 3 students that we have here, it's a good representation of some students live off campus and some students live on campus, but more students often live on campus than they do off campus. Someone has asked the question that I can just see in the chat that says, how do you find the pictures of all the different campus accommodations? And what I will do is I will post those in the chat for everyone. But I wonder, Shemaiah or Esther, can you talk through how you chose your accommodation on campus?
I chose my accommodation through the website, the UEA website. Especially when I saw student postgraduate accommodation only, that is what made me to focus more on it. But that's why I found the list of accommodations and settled on one.
So for me, there's a on the website there's an accommodation finder. So you put in all your requirements and it gives you a list of rooms or accommodation with their prices. From there, I think, I'm not sure, but in a certain month you choose your top 4 or 5 choices for your accommodation, and they assign you an accommodation. There's no deposit. At least I didn't have to be a deposit. You just get your accommodation. If you're happy with it, you can continue and sign the agreement on the website itself. But if you're not, you could reapply for accommodation. But yeah, through the website is pretty straightforward when it comes to accommodation. So everything, all the information is there.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you both. I'm also going to put in the email address of the accommodation team where you can get in touch with them. But if you look in the chat, you can see the website, the exact website that they've just been talking about, with all the different kinds of accommodation that you can filter by different like locations or different needs, like postgraduate, for example. We also do have the option to request certain conditions in your flat. Accommodation can't guarantee that they'll do these, but for example, if you wanted to live in a quiet flat or in a flat with females only, they will try and accommodate as best they can, but they can't promise anything. But I would really recommend reaching out to the accommodation team if you have questions about that. We will also be sending out an email in the next month or two that goes through some more information about accommodation. And we did hold a webinar last month, maybe a month ago, where we talked in more detail with the accommodation team about this. So I will make sure that you get the link to that within that email. So look out in your emails within the next month and there'll be more information on those. But the accommodation is open to apply for now. And as Shemaiah said, if you're not happy with the accommodation that you get, then there is always flexibility to change, or maybe you arrive and you don't get on with your flatmates. It's very rare, but sometimes it does happen. You do have the option to get in contact with the accommodation team and they will be able to help you with that. I think we could probably talk about accommodation for a long time, but I want to move on to the wonderful city of Norwich, which I know, Alpha, you mentioned is one of the reasons that you've fallen in love with UEA generally. So, Alpha, can you talk to us a little bit about what the city of Norwich is like?
Sorry, I keep getting issues with my microphone. Yeah, so for Norwich, I think it's a blend of if you want a quiet, sort of laid back town or city, right, that doesn't do too much or isn't too chaotic as I put it, like London. But also if you want a city that is still vibrant, so like a mix of those two things, where sometimes yes, you get that vibrant city life, right? Then Norwich is one of those places. Also because also there's also like a lot of places or things you can get that you could as well get from a major city like London. Most of the brands or biggest retail services and a retail chain still have their some shops here. Also it's relatively cheaper, right? It's outside London. That's how we say it, and so life here it's kind of cheaper compared to a bigger city like a major bigger city like London. And of course, it's for me, it's UNESCO City of Literature. So it is everything I dream of as a writer, right? There's like a lot of different green places, even outside UEA, to visit different cafes to sit in to write, different um, tourist places to see, because I also sort of create travel content, so I get to get a lot of places to see. And then generally, as I said in the beginning, sometimes you worry when you're moving to a new place, how is it going to be? How are people going to, receive you? But people in Norwich are generally nice. I wouldn't say I've had any problem with anyone since I've been here. Someone just sees you on the street and smiles and nods, and you're like, okay, now you just made my day, that sort of thing. So yeah, these reasons for me is what makes Norwich like a very cool place to live, right? And I hopefully I get to be around for a longer time, because it helps me with my creativity too. Yeah.
I think that's a brilliant answer. Thank you, Alpha. Esther, before you run away, what is your favourite area of Norwich or your favourite place to go in Norwich? Do you have one?
I would say the city center because it is filled with everything that I'd need. So basically the city center is it. There are retail shops, there are like the museum, there's also food places. There's so many places to visit in the city center. So yeah, there's also banks. Like there's everything that I would need in one place. So I don't have a specific place, but the city center would be it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Do any of you have a favourite restaurant in Norwich or a favourite place to eat? It's a difficult question.
Yeah, I do. I wanted to add to Esther's list the African shop for me, and then also other international shops. You would find places you can get um, Asian food and other continental food or shops to get from, which also leads to my next point. Surprisingly, the best place I like to eat is pho. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well. It's a Vietnamese restaurant, so I go there for the Vietnamese pho noodles. So that should tell you how internationally flavored Norwich is. I go there to eat Vietnamese food, and I love it. So that's one of my favorite places. And then the second would be the Forum, the Norwich Library. I go there. Every time I come out, I come with a book, because once you have a library card, you can borrow books, and read your favorite books, for free for a period of time, and also use their system and everything. So yeah, for me, that's the two most top. Yeah.
For me would be, there's a place called Cosmo Restaurant. It has a variety of international foods. So that would be the place I like going. It's actually a place where you go and pay some certain amount of money, and then you get buffet, like you can eat to your fill, as many rounds as you want. So if you're coming here in September, please make sure you go there. It's called Cosmos Restaurant. It's really nice.
Yes, Cosmos is a good one.
Mm.
They do a really big buffet, don't they? You can eat to your heart's content. And yeah, pho is a really good recommendation as well, Alpha. I think we have lots of different international food outlets here and international places that you can buy your ingredients for as well. So we have food from all across the globe, from Malaysia all the way down to up to South Korea, lots of different places. We have a few African cuisine places, but not as many as maybe we could do. We have more Indian restaurants, lots of Indian restaurants, including the best one, Namaste, which is meant to be award-winning with their vegetarian food. So we've got lots of different places that you can explore. And the good thing about Norwich is that places often have student discount or student offers for lunches. So I think it's a really great place to try and explore with your friends or go in over the weekend and try something new. Shemaiah, we've been talking a little bit about Norwich itself, but how easy is it to get from campus to the city centre in Norwich?
So that's one thing I love about our campus and Norwich in general, the buses. So the university buses, there's a university bus that comes every 15 minutes to the University Drive bus stop, and it takes you to different places around Norwich. And one of them is the city center. So I think it's around like 15 to 20 minutes, but the buses here are really, really easy to use. And compared to, I would say, bigger cities like London, I found that much worse. The buses here are much safer and nicer to use, I would say. So getting there is not an issue. I know some people that walk to the city center, which is crazy to me, but people still do it, and it's so safe. That's one thing I love about Norwich. Like, it's student friendly, you do feel safe, and like everyone, like Alpha said, everyone's so nice to you. So even just that small waves or like those smiles, it just makes a day. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get around in Norwich.
Yeah, definitely. The buses are really easy to
Mm-hmm.
use and they are directly straight from campus right into the city centre. I don't know how more easy they
Mm-hmm.
could make it for you. And they run all night as well or late into the evening. So if you do need to be out late, there are safe buses to get you home. So I think that's a really positive thing about UEA in Norwich. Um, let's have a look at what question we can come to next. We've talked a little bit about restaurants and Norwich. Alpha, you mentioned a little bit about uh, how Norwich is a lot smaller and a lot more friendly than somewhere like London. How long does it take to get from Norwich to other places like London? Is it easy to do? Have either of you done it before?
Yeah, I have at least gone to Colchester, but then it's the same train route, and it takes roughly 2 hours to go to London on a train, sometimes even shorter, and it's just easy. Um, I mean, first time I used it, I thought it was going to be a lot of long processes, and also had to psych my mind, even be there a few more minutes. But you just buy your ticket and you get there. When the train arrives, you just go in, sit down, and it's just so yeah, it's easier with the train. You get to go to a lot of places, directly. So I've been to Colchester, and I've also had to have a road trip to Scotland, which was also not so far. Frankly, we just drove through Norwich, and then before we realized we were in some parts of Scotland, the Highlands and then all that. So yeah, relatively. I know someone who goes to London, I think almost every weekend, to have the London life, goes in, and it's a return ticket anyway. So it's easy if you want to have that big London, crazy London life. You can also have that easily. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. I think you're right. It's really easy to get those trains and it shouldn't feel intimidating at all. It's really straightforward to buy your train ticket and then make your way on the trains. And even when you go to the train station for the first time, there is a ticket area where someone is able to help you if you need that support. So don't feel like you can't ask for help. I think that's one common thing about Norwich and UEA is that everyone is very friendly and they're always willing and happy to support you and help you whenever they can. Next question is, where do you go and buy your groceries from? Where do you go grocery shopping? Shemaiah, where do you get your ingredients from?
So for me, I go to Riverside Morrison's. So once again, it's a straight bus ride there. So I find that very easy. And Morrison's, I would say, has lots of discounts and you can sign up for them more cards. So with that card, you can get so many more discounts. I feel it's so useful, especially for the student. And if you're on a budget, look out for places that have discounts. So there is also an Aldi that most people go to, but there isn't transport there. So that's why I chose to go to Morrison's. I found like the prices aren't that different, I guess. So yeah, Morrison's is the one thing because everything is there. It's like a huge place, so you can get everything you need there. So it's just one shop, and I'm done with my groceries for at least 2 weeks. So I find Morrison's the best for me. Yeah.
Brilliant. And how about you, Alpha? Where do you do your grocery shopping?
Yeah, so I was also like a Morrison's fan for a while now. So I recently got sent by my flatmate to Tesco. But then I mean again the prices like Sumaya said it's not so different, right? And it's like these big shops you can get everything you want. So most of at least I'd say half of my groceries I do them Morrison's and now Tesco, and then I go to the African shops in the city to also get the things I need for my home dish. And then sometimes I can't also, because of school commitments and other things, I can't go to these shops. They have online services. You just order them. Sometimes give them a time or date you'll be available when before you realize it's at your doorstep. And then there's also Waitrose just across the street from me here. And that is like when I'm short for one or two things I need to quickly get, I just go to Waitrose. But then there are like different retail shops to, shopping centers to get your things from. And they have the online services too. And of course, the discounts too. That's one of the reasons why I chose Morrison. I was doing the shopping through Just Eat, and I mostly always get free delivery. So I just do that, and I hear the doorbell, and I just go for my things. And yeah, I have my groceries for like at least a week or two too. So yeah, these ones they have their club cards for the points and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention what Alpha said. The Asian markets, they have lots of Asian markets here, especially in the city center. And it's a good distance, I would say. You wouldn't have to walk that much. But having those Asian markets in Norwich is very nice. I love getting stuff that I wouldn't usually find, like just stuff that I can use to cook at home and everything. So definitely Asian markets and Morrison's. Also, the campus has a shop, a small shop where I do quick groceries, mainly like milk or something I need like quickly. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you both. You're right. The campus does have a shop, and I did want to mention that. It's not always the cheapest of shops, but it's always good for a little bit of a top up. And they also do have some really good reduced items as well if you're ever in there at the right time of day. The bread or the eggs or something like that you can usually get for a good price. But yes, and we talked a little bit there about international shops too. And sometimes we find that when our students first arrive in the UK, they maybe have a full suitcase of ingredients that they've brought from home. And that's not necessary. We do have shops here. There will may be some things that you can't get that you need from back home, but you definitely don't need to bring a full suitcase of ingredients and food, I promise you. There definitely is stuff here, and you will be able to find the right things that you need. Okay, let's talk a little bit more coming back to campus and the things that we can do around campus. I mentioned a little bit earlier about clubs and societies, so sports or societies, and I think both of you are part of one or the other. So, Alpha, are you part of any clubs and societies, and can you explain which ones for me?
Okay, so part of Concrete, the school newspaper, as you expect from a writer. So yeah, I'm part of that. All you have to do is just go to the SU website, and there's a whole list of, sometimes you're like, which one do I go for? Which one do I go for? But then the welcome week helps you, because they will have in-person setup that you can ask them any questions you want to see if they align with what you are looking for, and they're like really friendly people. So I joined Concrete. There were other ones I wanted to join, but I realized postgraduate studies sometimes take some time. And for undergraduate students, I think it can be a bit flexible. So I managed to join Concrete, where I sometimes contribute to the school's newspaper, and have my write-ups in there. Then somewhere along the line, someone reached out to me, like an student, who got to know I'm the international student ambassador for Ghana, and asked if we could come up with a Ghanaian society, which is another thing I wanted to talk about. If you come and you feel there's a lack in any club or society you want to join and there isn't any, you can start one through the SU. So now we have a Ghanaian society on campus, and that's another thing I happen to be the vice president. So that's what we also do sometimes, trying to get Ghanaian students on campus together, have that community and that support for each other. And yeah, so for me, currently, these are the two societies I'm part of here.
Brilliant. I love the fact that you've set up the Ghanaian Society. I think that's a really cool thing. It's also a really good thing to put on your CV, all these wonderful things that you're part of. So I think that's really great, Alpha. Thank you. Shemaiah, are you part of any clubs and societies?
Yeah, so for me, I'm a part of the Christian Society, then there's the Psychology Society and the Psych International Student Society. So there's definitely a huge list of societies that you can go through. And like Alpha said, they have taster sessions, so you can go see if it's something that aligns with you or not. But definitely check out societies, because it's the easiest way to make friends, first of all. Also, just knowing that you want a loan. So having that group of people that are just similar to you is really nice. One thing Alpha said as well about the Ghanaian society, I'm Sri Lankan, so I've not found a Sri Lankan society yet, but if Alpha started one, I might just, look into starting a Sri Lankan one. So who knows? But yeah, there's a huge list, and there's much niche societies as well, like the Baking Society or Taylor Swift
Taylor
Society.
Swift, yeah.
Yeah,
Taylor
it's
Swift.
crazy. It's a huge list. There's so many things that you can look out for, and who knows, you might just find new interests as well if you just join one out of curiosity. So yeah, I love the societies that UEA, and it's endless, honestly. So
Brilliant. Thank you both. I think, yeah, you're right. There are so many different things that you can try out. And I think that the best piece of advice we can give you is just to try as many as you want when you first arrive here. Don't be scared about going to something new. Everyone else will be new as well. And who knows, you might find something that you really connect with, a new hobby, a new group of friends, or maybe you'll find that you don't enjoy that activity, which is also a good thing because you found that out yourself. So I think that's really good. And Shemaiah, I definitely think you should look at setting up the Sri Lankan Society, because there may be people in the audience right now that might join you in September. So there
yeah.
you go. That's brilliant. I really love that. Thank you both for your answers there. That's really good. Let's talk about campus a bit more. So we have lots of things going on campus, including a live music venue slash club. We have bars, we have restaurants, we have cafes, we have a museum, we have sports facilities, we have a medical centre, a dentist, everything you need in one place. Where is your favourite place to get a coffee or a snack on campus? Shemaiah, I'm coming to you first because your face lit up. I reckon you've got somewhere in mind.
So coffee first. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm not into hot drinks, but there are so many places on campus to get snacks. So one of my favorites has to be either Z's or Blend. Um, I find that the food on our campus is relatively cheaper compared to other campuses. That's comparing with my sister's campus and London campuses as well. So I love that about our campus. So definitely lots of places that you can eat at on our campus. Even the Sainsbury's Center has a nice place, sports park. So there's so many places. I haven't even been to most of them yet because there's so many. But yeah, Blend and Ziggy's has to be one of my go-tos just for a small snack or even a small sweet treat. So yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. I challenge you, Shemaiah, to try every single place on
Mm-hmm.
campus before you leave.
I should,
You've
yeah.
you've got some time.
Yeah.
Alpha, do you have a favorite place to eat or get a drink?
Yeah, I think for me, I think I keep jumping from one addiction to the other. So at first, I found these brownies at Ziggy's that I always get into on campus, and then just a few weeks ago, I went to the Hive to get. Just saw one. I don't know if it's pronounced purple chicken or something. I just bought one. I was like, oh my god! So now anytime I'm on campus, I get one from there too. And like Sumayas, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't do coffees, but these little confectionaries and pastries every now and then I get them. And like you said, you is like a campus-based university. Everything you want is here. And I've already mentioned loving Sainsbury's Center, but also the square, especially when the sun is out. A couple of my friends and I always said that, talk and, sometimes I do it alone too, just to people watch and just, get inspiration of how people act, just for my writing. But don't tell anyone. Yeah, but nothing weird anyway. But generally, there are a lot of nice places on campus here.
Yeah, and we also have some places that come along on a regular basis as well, like a bakery that we have that comes to campus, Brown Bread.
Oh yeah,
We have the place that does
you can get
really,
jollof, the
yeah,
Ghanaian,
really
the
good
Jane
jollof.
jollof. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And also there's another one that comes as well. I can't remember which one it is, but they come regularly too. One of the questions that I've seen pop up in the Q&A is it easy to find halal food on campus? I wonder whether, Shemaiah?
Yeah, so the campus kitchen always has halal options. Even the shop has halal options, so it's not an issue. I know that. Oh, at the into accommodation, they always serve halal options. So, and that's one of the best places. Many people think that you have to be an into student to go to the cafe, but no, it's open for everyone. And they usually always serve halal options because there's lots of international students living there. So halal options it's not an issue to find, don't worry. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. I'm sure that reassures that person. I think when you arrive at UEA, it's a very global university. You will not be the only person that has you're part of a group. There will be other people just like you. So we'll have met people that need halal food before. So don't worry, that's all there and it's all available for you. Similarly, I saw a question about whether there is something to do with keeping your faith whilst you're at UEA and finding your community there. Shemaiah, can you talk a little bit if you're happy to?
Yeah, so one thing about me was I'm Christian, so I wanted to make sure that I was not peer pressured into anything or like felt like I had to do something I didn't want to. So there's many things, honestly. Also wanting to find a group of people that share the similar faith as me. So go on the SU website, and there are many religious societies actually. So not just Christian, the Muslim, the Jewish, there are so many societies. So definitely check that out. And there is a multi-faith center on our campus, and it's open every single day. There are certain times, I'm not sure, but it's open every day, and there are people such as I'm not too sure, but like different priests as well who host communion and everything. There's so many ways that you can like um stick to your faith and keep following it with a good community around you as well. It's not an issue I've found, so I feel pretty safe and I feel pretty happy with the community I found here and the Christian community I found here in UE. And I know most people as well find it very easy to keep up with their faith and like the certain struggles that you usually have as a university student, just having that community is amazing. So yeah, that's one thing.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that, Shemaiah. I'm sure that's really reassuring to those in the audience as well. We have lots of different groups here. You will definitely find the right kind of people that you want to connect with and to have that support in your journey. at UEA. That's a really good answer. And you also talked a little bit about the Faith Centre there. And the Faith Centre is a really great space that we have on campus. And Alpha, if you want to do people watching, it's a really good place to sit in and you can look out over the square. And people often don't realise that you're there. And they have apparently free tea and biscuits in there at all times. So it's a very good place to go if you need a little bit of a silent break. I think it's a secret spot on campus. We've talked a little bit about support that we have on campus by finding our communities and our societies. But I wondered whether we could talk about some of the other support that we have on campus. So, Alpha, I wonder whether you could talk us through what we mean when we say the SIS.
Yeah, I think anytime support comes to mind, this is the first place I think of, and I sort of make it like as simple as if you don't have any answer to any question, if you have a question, don't have any answer to it, and you don't know where to go to, just walk into the SIS, which stands for Student Information Zone. And trust me, they are armed with information. They will tell you where to go to, who to speak to, and sometimes even go the extra mile to perhaps even initiate the conversation, add you to the email and mention, oh, this person needs this. Could you attend to the person? That sort of conversation is done. So anytime I find myself lost with anything at all, just go there. And there's no anything else, a stupid question or like unnecessary question or anything at all. Just talk to them. They are as friendly as possible, and you'll be surprised the kind of information they have for you. And if they don't, they know where to get that information you are looking for. So for me, it's always the SIS for every kind of query. I just go there. I'm sure by this time they're probably tired of me, but that's like how relevant and how resourceful they are at the student information zone. So yeah, and yeah, like very easy to find when you get to campus. The square. Then right, there's a place called the street. Hopefully, when you join us, you'd see it's literally the street. So you get to find them there with everything. And then they have different session. They're also mindful about sometimes students need to sort of dip down and take a breather from a lot of academic stress. So sometimes they host these different creative sessions. Sometimes there's offline sessions where you just go in, drop your books or whatever, and join a different community of like-minded people who want to just relax, be among people, talk. Sometimes knit, draw, create some things with your hands, or even just talk. Those after hours sort of thing. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh yeah, and they have free stuff you can also get from SIS when you enter. They have this, it's literally bold there, take anything you want, and if there's like STI sort of related things like condoms, sexual health related stuff. If you need a cable for your internet, different things that you wouldn't get anywhere, you can get them free from SIS too. Yeah, just wanted to add that.
Yeah, and they also have sports equipment you can borrow as well now, don't they, for the summer when you want to like play sports with your friends.
Yeah.
And umbrellas for the unpredictable weather in the UK. So that's really good. Thank you, Alpha. I think that's a really good summary. When you arrive here in the UK, you will probably interact with the Student Information Zone quite quickly. And I would really say, as Alpha said, don't be scared to ask them any question. They have been doing this for a long time. They've probably heard your question before, so they will be happy to help and support you with that. Shemaiah, what other support do we have on campus? Is there anything else that you think we should talk about?
Yeah, so what most people don't know about is the free well-being and mental health support that they give on campus. It's always important to know that there are places you can reach out to and it's free, which is really amazing. So not only I wouldn't say it's just that. I think I'd speak for psychology maybe, but within psychology they have different support services as well. So whether it be like mathematical support system, since psychology does have maths in it, and then your essay writing, they have different teams that will help you with everything. So I think once you first arrive on campus, you are also assigned a academic advisor. So even academic support is given through your eVision portal, I think. So there are people assigned to you, and they're really helpful. It's important that you know that you can go to them early on instead of make yourself aware of all of the support systems. It's so helpful, so that you're not alone. Once again, you're not alone, but also knowing that everything is covered and it's free. It's a good thing as well. So it's good. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. I think you're right. There is so much support available, and you have the support from the General University as well as your school as well. So if you're joining the School of Psychology, as Shemaiah is in, you've definitely told me some great things that they do within the School of Psychology. So I think you're definitely well supported within a lot of our subject areas. Another thing that we offer on campus is our wonderful Careers Central. So we've had a couple of questions in the chat about getting a part-time job. And both of our students on the screen are student ambassadors. So they are currently getting paid for being here, although they can say whatever they want, I promise you. They're allowed to say anything that they want to. But part of their job role is to do things like this for us and also some of our social media. Alpha, can you talk a little bit about getting a part-time job? Because I know that you do many things. You're a man of many talents.
Yeah, so I think the Career Central generally is armed with different wings, if I should say. So one of it is the website itself, where you mostly they put these part-time jobs and internships and graduate jobs that you could always apply to, with how to apply to, and then there's also you can take part in the UEA award system, which is supposed to equip you to be better position for job market, and then there's a physical career center with the some desk help desk at the library where you can go to if you have any queries about CV, if you want to have one-on-one mentorship with someone from your program, if you want to have a mock interview. I mean, I remember recently I applied to some jobs and I had like about it's an amount of unfortunate leads. So I just went to their email and I was like, Career Central, I need help. I don't know what is going on, but I keep getting no's when I apply to jobs recently, and I don't know what. And they're like, yeah, come through to this time and time, and let's have a conversation with you. Let's look at your CV, see if you have everything done right. Let's talk about how you answer questions in your interviews, and let's see how we can better equip you for the next job you apply to. So there's that support also available with Career Central. And like you said, I do a few other things with the school, social media, with the global team, and currently also got social media job sort of content creation with Into, which again is all within my 20 hours, by the way. You don't have to go beyond the 20 hours, right? So all of that I got them through the Career Central, right? So there's that physical presence and there's the online presence for Career Center, and then how you navigate it, they are there to support you to get the job. Basically, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alpha. I think that's really useful. Shemaiah, how easy was it to get a part-time job whilst here at university?
So it was so easy for me. I followed the Career Central Instagram page, and one day an ad popped out. So they usually, when they have vacancies, they would advertise this on their Instagram, and it's really helpful. Not only that, but if you you usually would get emails of the vacancies from Career Central. I would say once a week. I would say, or I'm not sure, but it's pretty frequent. But once the ad for social media ambassador came up, I was like, it was perfect because it aligned with my interest. And all I had to do was go on their Career Central on the website, and there was just a application form, and that was about it. But Career Central has a website, and it's made so much more easy for you to like access different things. So it's not just vacancies for jobs, but internships. They have a separate one than placements. But they've also got, like what Alpha mentioned, the CV checkers, the mock interviews. They got so many different things, and these people are really friendly and helpful. I have to say that they're so welcoming. You don't have to feel like intimidated, honestly, because you're coming to university and you're looking for experience, and some of us don't have much, honestly. So these people would help you in every single area. I know. I think for different schools, I think for a school of psychology especially, there's a assigned career central person, I'm not sure, advisor. So she was really helpful as well. And within psychology, she can point you to different careers. So I'm not sure about other schools, but for school of psychology, there is definitely something like that. So look out for those things. But yeah, Career Central is free. That's the one thing that's really helpful. So not many people know about that either. So go to them for everything and they will help you. There's so many different categories in which they can help you in as well. So yeah.
And I think they also sort of promote volunteerism, volunteering
Yeah.
at or being a volunteer at places, which also helps you, build your CV and build, because some jobs after school, whether here or in your country, would require you to have some kind of experiences. So there's also another arm of Career Central that sort of pushes you to do volunteer work, and I've done 2 currently, which helps you to know more about the field you want to go to, and you just gain experience by also giving back. Right, so that's another thing, not just the paying job, but the volunteering job too really helps. And yes, you're right, there are advisors in every school that you can walk to. So if you don't want to go to the bigger Career Central, you could also go to the one that is assigned to your school. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you both. That's really useful. And it's also worth pointing out that you can access Career Central for free up to 3 years after your graduation as well. So once you have become a UEA alumni, which will be you soon, Alpha, before long, you can still access Career Central and all the support that they offer, as well as their jobs database too. So there is lots of support there still when you become an alumni and you have to leave, which is very sad. We are coming close to the end of today's webinar, and I'm very conscious of time today. So I am going to ask our students one final question. But before we get to that, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone in the audience for their questions. I can see that we've had lots of different questions coming through, and Steve has been answering them as best he can. I'm sorry if we haven't got round to your question today. You are more than welcome to email us, and we will be happy to answer those. So please do email us on the email address that you will have received your registration link from, and you will be able to get in touch with us. This webinar has been recorded, so if you have experienced any technical difficulties, do not panic. This recording will be shared within 48 hours, so you can watch back all of your favourite parts. You can be reminded of the restaurant that Esther told you about, and you can be reminded of the best place to get a chocolate brownie from on campus as well. And you can save those insights for when you arrive here in September, which is not that far away. It's actually quite close. And so it's definitely a time to get excited. So the final question that I have for our wonderful students on screen is, what one piece of advice would you give to anyone watching in the audience today? So that could be what to pack. It could be life advice. It could be where to get a discount card like the More card that you were talking about earlier. One piece of advice for anyone watching. I'm going to come to Shemaiah first.
So for me, it would be coming to a different country and living by yourself. It's kind of overwhelming almost. So there's definitely so much that you'll be going through, so many feelings that you might be going through, but knowing that you aren't alone, there are so many people figuring out the same things as you. So push yourself. I know that most people don't like that, but push yourself out of your comfort zone. And I did this, and in the best way possible, it has helped me so much. So that's asking for help, even though you don't want to. Looking out for support systems, community, everything. Just push yourself and try out new things, try new things, because you're going to be here. If you're an undergraduate student for like 3 years, it's going to be your home for the next 3 years. So make it your home. I've definitely found that balancing academics and social life has been hard, but once you you find yourself organized or like have a structured plan, it becomes much more easier. But always have that balance. Know that there's so many support that you get from the university, so you're not alone. So yeah, just push yourself, try out everything, especially in your first year when you have the time to just try out everything, ask for help when you need it. And yeah, that's the thing that I have to say. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Shemaiah. And Alpha, what is your piece of advice?
Yeah, thank you, Shemaiah. That's really good. So for me, I think I would highlight the support part. We've talked about severally here. It's no joke, and we are not telling lies about the support available at UEA. So I would suggest, and I would probably plead with you to make good use of it, right? Even before, because we have a lot of questions. Most of us are here right now, or most of you are here right now because there's tons of questions, and we all had that questions or those questions when we're trying to make a decision whether to come study abroad or not. So make use of the even pray. Yes, I was about to mention that. So make yourself available for the support we have even before you get here. So one, there are some calls sometimes we put through as student ambassadors to answer any questions you have. So when we do, first answer the call and then ask us your questions. Some of them you couldn't get them answered here. Then second would be following the UEA International page, IG page, where we do our best to answer every questions even before you ask them through very engaging content, and showing everything you have to know. Go to UEA website to read. So you can't go wrong with the kind of information available. Send emails to PGT admissions or whatever regarding anything you want. And these people are so hardworking and friendly enough to answer your questions anytime. And there's no small question, no stupid question, like I said earlier. So just arm yourself with as much information as you can, right, to help you make the best decision and also to help you have less of an anxiety, right? And I don't think most schools puts for these sort of initiatives to help you or ease your transition, but UEA does. So make good use of that, and yeah. Of course, the Unibody too, the ambassadors are available there too for your questions. So when you're on the website, yes, exactly, talk to a student and it's just talk to any of us and we answer your questions for you. And then you can make your decisions, and we can't wait to have you here in September or January, any of the intakes, yeah.
Yeah, I also have to mention, I have to mention Laura said about the discounts. Our Instagram page, the UE International page, covers different life hacks and student hacks to getting discounts. So definitely keep on the lookout for our international page. There are videos coming out every week, every day almost. Yeah, so that's really helpful in getting to know Norwich before you come. Just familiarizing yourself with the place before you come as well. So
Brilliant. Thank you both. I think you have summarized everything really, really well there. And a massive thank you to everyone that has been watching all the way up until this point, and a massive thank you to our wonderful students for taking part today and sharing aspects of their life too. It's been so great to hear all of your different advice and all of your different favourite things, and finding out that the lake is indeed everyone's favourite place on campus and always will be. So thank you all for watching us. We look forward to seeing you in September 2025 or beyond, and I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much.